Hi everyone, my name is Elvis and presenting with me is Ena, and we're representing Team 10. Our vision is to make it easier for handymen and customers to connect. So easy, in fact, it's only going to take you a few clicks to get to a handyman that you need. The way that we came up with this vision is by looking into the issues of our closest environment, the issues of our friends, our family, and our own issues. And then we asked ourselves, how come that something that is supposed to be so incredibly simple, like finding a quality painter, a mechanic, or a plumber, can oftentimes be so incredibly difficult to do? So we decided to dig a little deeper. We conducted a survey, we interviewed handymen, we talked to customers, to companies, and we dug deep into statistical data. And what we found is that we are not the only ones with this issue. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in the country and in the region suffering from this problem. And truth is, in Bosnia and Herzegovina in the year 2020, when most things are being done online, on phones or laptops or are getting there, the reality of finding a handyman is still the same as it was 10 or 15 years ago. And that creates difficulty. Difficulty for both handymen and customers, with customers still relying primarily on recommendations from friends and family when seeking to hire a handyman, which leaves them very limited choice and no guarantee of quality when they're hiring that person. And handymen being very limited in terms of customer acquisition, making it more difficult to make a name for yourself in the profession, especially if you're just starting out. We believe that the market is yearning for a better solution. The COVID crisis has forced all of us to become more digital. It has brought a wave of digitalization just starting to sweep through the country, and we aim to ride that wave. We aim to provide our users with a more modern, more efficient, and in the end, a more digital solution. Our solution is a web and mobile-based platform that aims to create value by connecting handymen and customers, giving the customers the freedom to choose handymen and companies based on their needs, priorities, and resources, and giving the handyman a valuable tool that will allow them to get more customers, build a better reputation, and in the end, have a more stable income. And the process is super simple. All you have to do is do a search based on the service that you need done. Then you browse through a list of handymen, checking out their reviews, their ratings, their pictures of prior work, and any information that you might need. After you've chosen someone, you arrange the details with them, set the dates, and confirm. That's it. Easy as that.
With this product, we aim to reach both the registered handyman and handyman companies. Our long-term goal is reaching them across the region, namely Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Serbia, and Montenegro, which represents our TAM. For the first 2 years, we aim to focus only on Bosnia and Herzegovina, and with the first year of operation, gain 0.5% of the total Bosnian market. We will be using a subscription-based model as our main revenue stream. Multiplying our average yearly subscription price with our serviceable obtainable market, we expect to get about 66,000 euro of revenue in the first year of operation. We'll be integrating our paying customers, which are the handyman and handyman companies, by offering a 1-month free trial period. Most of our early focus will be on establishing an initial supply of handymen through direct contact and promotion on social media. We will offer handymen a chance to establish an aesthetically pleasing digital presence on our platform, so they can showcase and promote their work. This way, they're getting something valuable even before the customers arrive on the platform. Although we're not first to market, we aim to differentiate ourselves by offering great user experience, professional-looking portfolios for handymen, and a great onboarding service. We do not aim to be the cheapest on the market. What we want is to build a genuine relationship with our users. We want to give handymen the highest value possible for their money and allow them to grow their business. We want the customer experience to be as streamlined and as painless as possible. With a team of 5 members, with 3 members with an engineering background, 1 in economics and 1 in natural sciences, who have done everything from meet with the US ambassadors, lead European organizations, create apps, look for a handyman for their own homes, and most notably survive and thrive in the times of COVID, we believe we're ready for the challenge. With low operating costs and a potential for high returns, our 4-year projections show steady growth and a significant return of investment. That is why we're asking for 8,000 euros, a full stack developer for 3 months, and a UX UI designer for 3 weeks in exchange for 20% of equity. This will allow us to quickly launch and develop our app, as well as cover the first 6 months for post-launch costs. You can contact us via email or the social media provided on the slide. We're open for any questions that you may have. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Radiona. We'll go to questions now. We have Adnan Berberovic as the first. So Adnan, go for it.
Yeah, thank you, Eddie. Just first of all, I'm really impressed how all the teams have developed their pitches. I've been having a chance to talk to some of them, and congratulations to that, first of all. The question to Radiona is how, when would you be able to launch this product? What's your expectation?
Elvis, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. We believe that we could launch a full-fledged product with the support provided in about 4 months, but we would like to launch a MVP a lot sooner.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Other questions?
Could I can't start my video, Eddie.
Sorry, Simon, I'll start you in a second. Amra just lifted her hand just a second before you, so I'll come back to you. Amra, go for it, please.
Yes, the question is, how will you validate the handyman? How will you ensure the quality of the services?
Okay, so we have several features that we plan to implement. The first one, in terms of quality, the handyman will have an option to provide their portfolios on their user profile, but also when a customer has had a deal made and has had a handyman complete their work, after leaving the review, they will also be able to provide images of the completed work. Other than that, we also plan to have a validation system for handyman only, so only for handyman side of the users, which will require their ID number, jedinstveni matični broj, which will serve as a protection to all of the clients which want the handyman to come over to their home in case something happens, so the handyman could be identified.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the next question. We have Samir and then Seo.
Thank you, Eddie. Very good presentation, guys. I was actually involved with something very similar here in London, in the UK. It's a huge market for services industry. I'm kind of struggling to sort of be convinced that there is a real need for something like this in Bosnia. And knowing the culture and the neighbors sort of coming in, helping, etc. I'm just kind of, I'm not sure and 100% convinced of the size of the market. However, as Amra said, one of my concerns would be the way in which you onboard and vet your handyman, number one. And number two, the question is really, how are you going to monitor the actual pricing of their jobs? How are you going to ensure that the price is fair? How are you going to ensure that the aftermath of the job being done is also kind of followed through? You know, just the kind of aftercare and the pricing, I guess, is the question.
Okay, I will take the first part in regards to the demand. There is a huge demand for handymen due to the fact that the countries in the former Yugoslavian region do have a handyman deficit. However, there is a specific portion of the handyman population that struggles to find work within the borders. This is due to the fact that they're new to the job. They don't have pre-existing client base, so they kind of, as far as what we've received through the surveys, they kind of rely on publishing the photos of their work and of their skills on Facebook, and try to get clients through Facebook and through family connections, which is not a very efficient way. This also prevents some of the high school students that finish vocation schools for skilled jobs to kind of stay in the industry, and there is a deficit in that industry because they don't know how to approach the market while there is a huge demand for it still. And the second portion, the second portion was in terms of onboarding, I believe?
No, the pricing.
Oh, okay, so the handymen in Bosnia kind of have a range of providing their work for about 25 to 50 euros per hour, depending, and it kind of depends on the work as well. But we would allow them to engage in competitive behavior in terms of the prices, but the review system would be the one that would kind of dictate the quality, dictate the exposure. So if a handyman sets a high price, but the quality of the work leaves the clients unsatisfied, it would be downgraded on the list of recommendations.
And what's your commission on that price?
We would not be taking commission. That's why we picked the subscription-based model. There have been several complications in terms of getting the commission-based, one of which is what you mentioned about the mindset of the demography here, in terms of people would most definitely try to avoid like having the commission paid, and the customers would probably cancel appointments and then pay the handyman in cash without booking the service through the app. Meanwhile, the subscription-based model would ensure that the handyman only pays for that month or that year, and then they can keep everything they actually make.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm going to have to move to the last question because we're running out of time, and you guys will have time to talk to the teams during the investment session after this. So, CEO Jahic, you have a quick question for us, please?
It might have been already answered, but really, how are you in a place where everything's word of mouth? You find a handyman through the word of mouth. How are you guys going to find those handymen to actually come in? You know, what is your kind of go-to-market strategy for reaching as many handymen as possible?
Our MVP is focused on providing the handyman with a really good-looking digital presence. And that is how we're going to initially set up to gain a bigger part of the handyman market, because they're getting something valuable for free. There is evidence in social media and evidence in the region that handymen are pushing towards becoming more digital. There are, in Bosnia Herzegovina on Facebook, there's a few groups with hundreds of thousands of members where handymen daily post what they've done and brag and try to find customers. So there is a budding need, and we believe that the timing is just right, that the need for digitalization of this kind of service is just budding. And if you step in, we can be the ones that they're turning to. So yes, that's how we're going to approach gaining the handyman market first. And we're also going to, in the beginning at least, approach it with a direct sales approach. So we're going to be contacting the companies and handymen that are already established in the market.
I would just like to add that there are many options for marketing in particular available at this time, since a lot of the people, even in their 50s and 60s, are using Viber and WhatsApp within Bosnia. And that has been a recent trend, maybe past 2 or 3 years. So this kind of an app would not be possible 5 years ago, but now it's just precisely the right time.